Welcome back, everybody. We've got one of my favorite people to talk to, not only because he's one of the nicest guys, which you always hear me say that about Gary, but he's also extremely smart when it comes to building out businesses. And you can see it in the business he's building now because he's using people and technology, and not just people, talented people. In fact, 2 days ago, if you're watching me on social, which we're talking about social today, Gary, if you're watching me on social, just the last 4 days, I've pivoted to do a lot more video and a lot more content in general. And I'm taking it on, Gary. I didn't put it out to anybody on my team to do it. And on Sunday, when I started just to edit a 3-minute video, and this is just regular edits, like just jump cuts. It took me for a 3-minute video, 17 minutes to edit one video. That's not including gathering the content online, making sure the transcript's on point with my tonality, then shooting the video. And then after, forget the editing, then distributing it, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. And then on top of that, making graphics for each. I had to do the whole process. 9 videos short on Sunday. Took me 8 hours for the whole process.
Oh my. So that's why you reached out to me and said, Gary, I need another VA.
Yeah, I need two, right? So I need one specifically for video editing. Now that I have a different process that I created, number one. Number two is I need somebody that has high graphic design skill development using AI, and also, the normal tools they have. So those are the two I need. And that's why I was like, this is a perfect social media VA staff webinar that we're going to do.
Yeah, well, we're sourcing, by the way. So I told you that already. We're sourcing Mary Beth's on it. So, but stand by. We're, what is quick is seldom good. But we find good people. But so that's what we do. So let's hop in. Today we're going to talk about 15 minutes to 5 times your productivity using VAs. So this is productivity in sales. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Let me share it real quick.
Let me put it up when I see it.
Okay.
We got you.
Okay. So I just wanted to go over some things like what we do in our SOPs and training for Vitalis. And so, what this is about is it's about multiplying productivity in sales for an agent. And so, today, it's about hiring. Today isn't about hiring a cheap assistant. It's about engineering leverage. If your revenue depends on how hard you work, you don't own a scalable business. You own a high-paying job. So if you don't, if your business is not scalable and you can't scale, then it's just a job. And so that's what we're going to talk about now is the bottleneck. So I'm going to be honest with you, Tristan. The agents are the bottleneck. Most agents, they say they need more leads, but they don't. They need more capacity. And so, your CRM isn't broken. Your follow-up just isn't consistent. Your response times aren't fast enough. And if you're doing $10 an hour job instead of working on negotiating $1,000 hour selling, then the constraint isn't leads, it's your capacity. It's your capacity to handle that growth. And that's where the agents really mess up is they can't handle the capacity. It's not the CRM, it's not the leads, it is the capacity. So this is the five times revenue equation I just wanted to go over. Revenue equals leads times conversion, times follow-up, times speed, times capacity. Everybody focuses on leads. Everybody does.
Yep.
But elite agents focus on speed and capacity. Speed increases the contact rate. So capacity increases output. So speed increases contact rate. Capacity increases output. And follow-up increases conversion. So, I want to ask you agents out there, how many of you respond to every lead in under 2 minutes? Tristan, what do you think? How many agents respond to leads in under 2 minutes?
Oh, dude, I don't know that it's enough. I think it's definitely probably only 10%, and it's those 10% that have either systems, tech, right? Or in the systems, they have staff, right, as part of the system. Those are probably the only ones that do. Unless they're crazy and they're always on, then you have that exception. Windows are great too.
Yeah, well, and that's the opportunity for agents, because you just said it, Tristan. Most agents don't do that. So there's the opportunity for agents. Get good at your systems and processes. So here's what we're going to break down. You should never touch your CRM unless it produces revenue. You should never touch your CRM unless it produces revenue. VA handles data entry, research, confirmations, follow-up, logging in, whatever data entry. The agent handles conversations, objections, negotiations, and closings. The result means that you're going to get 30 to 50% more selling time. And if I could give you 2 more hours a day of selling time, then what happens to your income, right?
Yeah. Well, dude, it goes up, of course.
Yeah, for sure. Let me go over the next slide here. So here is a 5-minute speed to lead presentation that I want to show you what you can do and your VA can do. So this is what the stats say. Leads contacted within 5 minutes are 21 more times likely to convert. So if you're not contacting leads within 5 minutes, then you're losing an opportunity and you're losing money and revenue. Under 2 minutes is elite. So your goal is to respond to leads within 2 minutes. I don't think a lot of agents are responding to leads in 2 minutes, but that's a goal. And responding to leads within 5 minutes definitely has to happen. So the system, here's the system. The leads come in, the VA gets an instant alert. The call happens within 2 to 5 minutes. There's a simultaneous text and email, and then appointment is set, or there's a nurture. So that's based off of the nurture, whether or not you have contacted them or not. Speed wins. Speed wins all games. It's like in football. I used to be a football coach as well. Speed wins games. Speed wins in business. So there's no better script and no better branding than speed. Speed wins the game. And so in order to win the game, you have to have systems and processes to win that game. Does that make sense?
It does. Now, when you're talking about speed, when you reach them, what happens? What does that speed turn into once you have that conversation?
Yeah. So, the speed, we can go into scripts. So I don't think we're going to have a lot of time, but the ultimate opportunity is for the VA to set that appointment with, a text, a call, an email, but speed has to win because there's no better time than right now. That lead filled out information. It was the right timing to fill out that form on the website or fill out for that lead that you purchased. And so it has to happen instantly and quickly. If you don't have that happening, if you don't have a systems and process in place, and we're not going to be able to get into that today, but if you don't have that system and process in place to respond via call, text, email within 5 minutes, then you're losing money. It's just the way it is.
Interesting. I would add to this by not just thinking, because I know I was thinking originally online leads way back, right? But
Sure.
when you're talking about listings that you have where you have a sign and now you have a sign call, right? When you have, some of you do, postcards that have your phone number on them, you get those calls everywhere you're marketing to, including, by the way, including social media where we get DMs and we don't respond to them, right? Everything you can think of requires speed and I mean, at least some type of communication at some point, right?
Well, here's the problem. Here's the 90-day follow-up machine. So I just, most agents quit after 2 or 3 attempts, Christian. They try to, and I'm talking about if they don't fall within the 2 to 5 minute speed to lead goal. But most agents quit after two to 3 attempts. The successful agents, it's going to take 8 to 12 touches. Not everybody is home in the mornings. Not everybody is home in the afternoons. Not everybody is home in the evenings. Not everybody is ready to pick up the phone about that lead, about that inquiry, and they have things going on. People's lives are busy, so it takes 8 to 12 touches in order to get in contact with that person. But agents just quit. They think that they're being ghosted. They're not being ghosted. The people are just busy, and people are even more busy than 10 years ago. That makes sense, right?
Not only busy, man, we're being distracted more than ever before. So, in order for somebody to want to pick up or even follow up with you, you've got to make that impression over a lot of different types of touches as well.
Absolutely. So here are the touches. Day 1, call text. Day 3, call email. Day 7, value message. And then 30 to 60 day structure for touches. Those are drips and things like that. Your competition stops following up. Your system doesn't. So you have to have systems in place in order to, to master, to beat that competition. So, I'm going to go over database resurrection here. So, this is where, this is where most agents struggle. There is hidden revenue. You've done this before, Tristan, but there's hidden revenue in your CRM right now. I mean, there are old leads, there are closed, lost, past inquiries, referrals, check-ins, market updates. Your VA should be running those campaigns, and the agent handles the warm responses. So the VA runs the campaigns, and then the agent handles, just like I talked about, the negotiations, the conversations, because that's high level stuff. That's $1,000 an hour stuff, not $10 an hour job. So your VA should be handling all of that. I want to ask you a question. How many agents out there, how many leads do you think are sitting untouched in your CRM right now?
Untouched? I would say, let's get 1,000. Let's say you have 1,000 in the database. I would say 950 go untouched.
Yeah. Well, Tristan, you have to think that every one of those, now, not every one is worth, the full commission of a house, but, because some of those aren't, going to go to market for whatever reason. But
True.
All of those are $100 bills just sitting there. And, if agents don't have systems and processes in place to handle the growth of this type of system, then, they're going to lose out on money. I talk to a lot of agents, Tristan, every week, and I had probably 3 this week. One agent had 9,000 leads in the follow-up box.
That's a lot.
9,000 leads. He had 9,000 leads in his follow-up boss account. And I asked him, I said, so what's the status of those leads? I mean, are they cold, warm? He's like, I really don't know. I'm like, well, are you doing PPC? Are you doing Meta? Well, how are you? Yeah, there's Meta in. Have you followed up with them? And he was embarrassed to say this. He said, not really. And I'm like, God, there's a gold mine just sitting right there.
That's because we expect, as agents, we expect to do all of that ourselves. Follow up, creating the newsletter, posting to social media, all of those pieces, as well as showing up for the client and talking to them.
Absolutely. Well, just like I said, the agent needs to focus on conversations and that $1,000 an hour conversation that those high level conversations, the VA can handle the rest of that. So number 5 here is appointment density engineering. Revenue increases when show rate increases. So we do double confirmations. We send out reminder texts, same day reminders, and then an overbooking strategy. So I love this strategy. For example, We train our XPs. By the way, we call our VAs XPs or executive partners, but our XPs are trained to have conversations, but say, hey, we only have tomorrow at 2 p.m. available, and then Thursday at 6 p.m. available. Which one of those fit your schedule? And so that makes you look like you're booked up. And so we give them two options, morning and afternoon. Well, you might say, well, why are you only giving them two options? What if it doesn't fit into their schedule? That's when we say that, Tristan is booked up, but I'm going to see if I can rearrange his schedule for you. What time looks good for you? And then they go, okay, I can do it this time and this time. Okay, I'm going to rearrange Tristan's schedule for you. So just keep that that appointment is, write this down a lot, and we go into it and have them write it down and so forth and so on. So that overbooking strategy really works. And so the overbooking strategy, and then the no-show recycling, you have to follow up with the no-shows because something happens to those people. We get the stats from all of our people making phone calls, and we find out why, if they had good weeks, bad weeks, how many appointments set, things like that. And we drill down into the recordings and the follow-ups. A lot of the follow-ups are something happened and I just couldn't be there, and I was embarrassed to call you. I didn't want to say I couldn't be there, but I want to reschedule. But agents just, when they get a no-show, they give up. Yeah. And and so there's a lot of money in those no-shows as well.
There are, man. But listen, I need somebody to be able to do that for me, because there's no way I'm going to be following up with the no-shows.
I agree. The more appointments isn't the goal. The more shows is the goal. More shows is the goal. That's what the goal is. You have to have those conversations. All right, so let's talk about the data VA. So this is an agent level thinking. We want to track response times. We want to track follow-up attempts, dials per day, appointment set, show rate, close rate. Your VA can, or our VAs can do this. So our VAs can, or our XPs can do this. And so you have to monitor that data. If you're not, then that's a leak in your funnel. Everybody has leaks in their funnel, whatever business you have. Those little leaks add up to big leaks. And so this is a little leak in the funnel. So what gets measured gets multiplied. Your VA becomes your performance dashboard. What gets measured gets multiplied. Your VA becomes your performance dashboard.
I love that.
All right, let's go to the implementation plan. Okay, so this is the biggie. I am such a problem solver and a troubleshooter. So, and bottlenecks, identifying bottlenecks that are stopping you from scaling. Okay. AI doesn't replace your sales team. AI only enhances your sales team. Just to let you know, AI isn't going to replace it. It'll enhance it. So what AI can do is script optimization, script optimization, objection handling, follow-up messages in the drafts. The VA executes logs, manages pipelines, and then the sales, which is the agent, closes. I'll send you a breakdown of this. If anybody wants a breakdown, they can email me. We have a whole blueprint on our website as well, where we can give you this whole plan to execute, but we don't have a lot of time to get into a lot of this. So the next thing is the mindset shift. Busy does not equal scalable. If you're busy, that doesn't mean you're scaling. Busy is not scaling. If you're feeling overwhelmed, it's a systems problem. If you are feeling overwhelmed, it's a systems problem. Systems create freedom, leverage creates growth.
Oh, I like that. Systems create freedom, leverage creates growth. Huh.
All right. So the question here is, how much revenue is sitting in your CRM right now? If
more than I can count.
Right. If we could unlock 10% of that, what would that mean? Just 10%. What would that mean to an agent if we could unlock that? And so, that's just the big question is you have to focus on your systems and processes. So what you need to do, you have to be able to ready to audit your systems and processes. So you need to do an audit like speed to lead audit, VA readiness assessment. Is your VA trained on all these systems and processes? Are they competent enough to do all of these systems and processes? So you need to audit your speed to lead, which is crucial. That's number one. Audit your systems and processes, and then audit your VA readiness. So that's what we suggest that you do. That's what our team does. And I'm just going to close with this. Stop being the bottleneck in your business. You are the bottleneck in your business. It's not anybody else, because you either have a fear or control that only you can do it the way you know how to do it, and you can't delegate any of this over to somebody, or it's the fear of letting go. The control, that's really what it is. So stop being the bottleneck in your business. And that's the biggest thing that we see agents struggle with.
All right. Well, dude, that's a lot of stuff. I mean, there's a lot of slides. I think the biggest question I have is I have a hack, right? I have you on speed dial, Gary. That honestly is a hack. But everybody else is like, where? How do we find all of these different pieces that we need? Where do we go?
Well, it takes, staff is the big thing. You have to have good staff. Let me end this slideshow and stop. There we go. Okay. So, you have to have people in place, and, we're a VA company. Once again, internally, we don't say VAs, we say XPs, but you have to have a good VA. And so the biggest difference between us and you finding your own VA is that our sourcing and vetting is second to none. Our director of operation came from the largest executive assistant company called Athena. Athena is the world's the world's largest executive assistant company. She came from them. She installed all of our systems and processes and copied those. And so it's really the vetting and sourcing with our company is second to none. That's what makes us best. So, Tristan, you might say, or an agent might say, well, there's no way I can find somebody to help me with all this, or there's no way my VA can do this right now. You're probably right. That's because you're not finding high-level talent like the person that you're sourcing for us right now, the high-level talent that can change your company's direction. And so, that's what we see is it's the vetting and sourcing for our company. What we tell people, and I've told you this, if you want a VA tomorrow, we can't get you a VA tomorrow. We will not. If you want a VA tomorrow, you're going to have to go to somebody else. Go ahead.
Your QR code is giving me a 404 page not found.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Okay. All right. Well, I'll have that checked with your people here on the thing.
What's the link so I could just send them there? Would that be Vitalis?
Yeah, Vitalis Outsourcing, VITALIS, and we have two websites. You can just do vitalisva.com.
Perfect. Let me get there. Somebody told me in the audience right now.
Okay, well, thank you. I'll have them change that barcode. I don't know if we changed it internally, but I'll reach out to Jasmine, I think, and have her change that.
Good catch, Catherine. I appreciate that. And then let me put in the chat here. I'm gonna grab that. Vitalis. Oh, it's so easy. Vitalisva.com.
Correct. Yeah.
Let me do that and paste it in there. There we go. All right, it's in there. Thank you, Catherine. Chad, what's the cost to Vitalis? How much do XPs cost? Can you hire part-time? What are we looking at there, Gary?
About $9 an hour for full-time, $11 an hour for part-time.
Okay, perfect. And from experience, Chad, because I have over 50 VAs for myself, but remember, I run multiple businesses. and some of the VAs are virtual staff. That's what I call them. They're in the US too. So I function at a high level with my staff, but I can tell you, I know every time I'm hiring outside of the US, I go to Gary now to outsource because his process is better than my internal process to find the right talent. Because not only are they finding it, they're also refining it and saying, oh, you know what? Out of all the 100, and yeah, there are a ton of applications. Out of 100 applications, we're narrowing it down to the best 3. And then we're having you show up, interview them, talk to them. And then on top of that, they're also making sure that they continue to perform at a high level. So it's not just, let me find one, right? There's so much behind the scenes. And I appreciate that a lot because I run my staff at an extremely high level, and Gary performs at that level too. So thank you, Gary.
Well, you're welcome. Well, I love this one today. I love, how VAs can help companies. Let me just tell you, there's a big difference between a normal VA and a team member or XP. There's just a huge difference between those types of workers. We have contracts with them. We give them PTO. We give them health insurance. And so we are a professional company, and they love working for us. And that's what makes us stand out. We get the best of the best, and we treat them incredibly well. They don't want to work. You're getting people that want to be an asset to a company, not just a VA gig worker.
Yeah, I love that. And I can see the difference. Steve's asking, what's up, Steve? Dallas, Texas. Do your VAs support commercial real estate?
Sure. So, Steve, I would tell you to go to our website, book a discovery call. Let's go over those tasks and positions. And yes, they do.
Perfect. Let me see if I'm missing any questions. No. Gary, I feel like we barely got into social media. I would love to talk about, let's make the next one, because by that time I'll have the 2 people you're bringing to me, the full video editor and the graphic designer, both in place with my systems and your training. And then that'll be a beautiful thing. Let's do that. And then I can also show what I'm producing so people can see the millions of impressions, and then how we get leads and follow-ups and all that. Let's do that.
Done deal. Let's do it next time.
I love that. Steve, great question. Chad, thank you. Catherine, thanks for spotting that on the QR code. If you're interested, it's vitalisva.com. And Gary, just one of the most outstanding people in the industry. I trust him 100%. So that's why he's here. Thanks, Gary. Appreciate you, buddy.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate you. All right, man. See you guys.
Thanks, everybody.